Once upon a time, in a quiet little town, there was a man named Daniel. Everyone loved Daniel. He was the guy who always listened, always helped, always showed up. If someone needed a ride, Daniel was there. If a friend needed to borrow money, Daniel handed it over. If his boss needed extra work done, Daniel stayed late, and yet, when Daniel needed help, the world was silent. He didn't know when it had started, this pattern of giving without receiving. Maybe it was when he was a child, when his parents taught him that being good meant putting others first. Maybe it was when he lost his best friend in high school and decided that if he was always nice, people wouldn't leave, but they still left. One night, Daniel sat alone in his dimly lit apartment. His phone vibrated. It was a message from an old friend, not to check in, not to ask how he was doing, but to ask for a favor. He stared at the screen, feeling something he hadn't let himself feel before, anger, not at his friend. Not even at his boss or family, at himself, because he had let this happen, because he had spent years bending over backward for people who wouldn't take a single step for him, because he had been so afraid of disappointing others that he had forgotten himself. For the first time, a question echoed in his mind. What about me? He walked to the bathroom and stared at his own reflection, really looking at himself, his tired eyes, his slumped shoulders, the exhaustion in his face. He barely recognized the man staring back at him. Enough, he whispered. No more. And just like that, everything changed. The next morning, Daniel walked into work with a different energy. When his boss approached him with another extra task, he looked him in the eye and said, I won't be staying late today. I have things to do. His boss raised an eyebrow but didn't argue. At lunch, a friend texted him asking for money, again. Daniel exhaled and typed, I can't help you this time. For the first time, he felt the weight lift off his shoulders. Some people got angry. Some pulled away. Some said, you've changed. And for the first time in his life, Daniel smiled and said, yes, I have. Because he had, with every no he spoke, he gained something greater, self-respect. With every boundary he set, he found more time for his own dreams. With every step away from those who only took, he walked closer to the life he truly wanted, and soon, something incredible happened. He didn't feel lonely anymore. He was surrounded by fewer people, but the ones who remained truly cared. His work was valued, his time was respected, and most importantly, he finally respected himself. Moral of the story: being kind is a gift, but being too soft is a curse. You don't owe anyone your time, energy, or peace at the cost of yourself. Stand up, set boundaries, and choose yourself. The right people will stay. The wrong ones will leave. And in the end, you will be free.